Well, welcome to another session of Bat City Auto Tech's little video here. This is, I know I said I was going to do second part, but looks like we're going to have to do a third part of the video here. So anyway, this is the second part of the video from our 100,000 miles Jeep Wrangler Unlimited that we're going to do the 100,000 miles service. Okay, so let's see what you've done so far, and then we're gonna come back and kind of recap everything. So we went through all the spark plugs. Here they are, as you can see, that we got out of the car. I mean, this is the filter. It's really all the debris are trapped, so obviously couldn't breathe. So what happens is when you have air intake, so this is your air intake, and air and gas mixes here, right? And you've got the firing going on both sides, and if you have air and fuel ratio is kind of messed up because of fuel. I mean, the filter is clogged or fuel is clogged, so you can't get that code that we looked at last time, the exhaust code, because it's not, either fuel is not burning properly, or sparks is not happening what it's supposed to, or it's a weak spark basically. So anyway, we finished this part of the work. We went out and took out all the spark plugs this side. Obviously this side was a little challenging because we had to take out the entire intake manifold area. We had to remove everything to get to underneath the manifold to get to the spark plug, and it took us quite a bit of time, more time than we expected. So I just want to kind of show you what the spark plugs looks like when we took it out. They are basically, after a while, the spark plugs, they get weaker, they get corroded, so your electricity is not passing as it's supposed to, and sparks are weaker. So here's a plug. Let's see if I can show you a new plug, what a new plug looks like side by side. Let's see. Here's a new spark plug compared to, let's see. There you go. So there's a new spark plug, and these are your old spark plug. They're obviously corroded, and they're weaker. Basically, they're very weak. So that this part of the work is done. We're gonna go ahead and move forward with the next part, which is to start, flushing out all the fluid. We're gonna flush out the brake fluid and transmission, transfer case, differentials, all those areas. So also at Bat City we do use very sophisticated tools here. So we've got a computer system that tells us what are the specifications of each area. So let's say we want to go ahead and look at fuel, the transmission fluid. So we can look at the specification. It will give us the capacity of the fuel. I mean the capacity of the fluid, perhaps. It's too early in the morning, folks. And then there. So it also tells us how to service and repair. If we want to do fuel and filter. So here's what filter and fluid exchange for transmission looks like. We're gonna have to go underneath, drop the pan, and change gaskets and filters and all this stuff. It's a little messy job, but needs to be done. You don't need to do it every 5,000. We do it every 30,000 or so. That's what we're gonna get to next. Once we lift up the truck, we're gonna lift up the truck and go under and start doing this work. I'm just waiting for my crew to arrive. They should be here in just a few minutes. So let's look at a couple of other things that we're gonna do. So I kind of laid out here. Here's a new filter for your transmission, the gasket. So when we drop the pan, we're going to have to install new filter and gaskets for the pan. And to get all this stuff out, because it's a sealed transmission, we're going to have to pump out some. So we're going to use some of the tools like the electric motor. We're going to extract all the fuel out of the system. We're going to use the this is gets connected to the air compression system, and then we kind of this is for the brake. We're going to suck out all the bad brake fluid out of the system, and and refill with the brand new fluid, so that you'll have a very clean fluid inside your system. So these are some of the small mini tools we're going to use. These are more of a customized tools. They're not, not so many people uses this kind of tool, but we are a precision shop. We do everything, according to very precise specifications, So that's kind of where we are. So we're going to start doing this. Just want to kind of show you where we are in the process of 100,000 miles service. It is a complicated service. It's not in and out in a couple of hours. It takes, it takes a day, entire day, or sometimes it takes, more than a day to do this job, because it's a complicated job. 5 different fluid you got to change and do all those other tune-up. So that's kind of where we are, and hopefully we'll see you soon again for the next video. Let's see. Oh, there he is. That's our another helper here. Hi, Gucci. All right, we'll see you in a minute.